In the beginning, when the stars were fresh and the earth was a tapestry of untouched green, the Creator looked upon humanity and saw a being capable of greatness, but also a being prone to a profound and heavy loneliness. Humans were designed with a soul so vast that the physical world alone could not fill it. God realized that while He would always be with us in spirit, we required a physical manifestation of grace, a heartbeat at our feet, a presence in the dark, and a love that did not require a single word to be understood. There is a beautiful mystery in the very name we give them. In the English language, the word dog is the perfect mirror of the word God. While some may see this as a coincidence, the spiritual parallel is undeniable. Dogs represent the purest form of agape, the kind of selfless, unconditional love that the divine has for all creation. God gave us dogs to show us a living, breathing example of how He loves us, without judgment, despite our flaws, and with a memory that forgets our mistakes but remembers our kindness forever. Think about the way a dog waits for you. They do OT care about the size of your house, the brand of your clothes, or the balance in your bank account. They do not care if you were passed over for a promotion or if you made a mistake that you can't stop thinking about. When you walk through that door, you are the center of their universe. You are their sun and their moon. This is the divine mirror. God gave us these creatures to remind us that we are worthy of love simply because we exist, not because of what we achieve. One of the greatest spiritual struggles we face as humans is our inability to stay in the present. We are constantly haunted by the ghosts of yesterday or paralyzed by the phantoms of tomorrow. We live in a state of constant anxiety about what might happen next. But God gave us dogs to be our anchors in the here and now. Dog does not worry about the mortgage or regret a social interaction from 3 years ago. When a dog smells the morning air, they are fully there. When they feel the sun on their fur, they are fully there. By watching them, we learn the sacred art of the present moment. They pull us out of our heads and back into our hearts, teaching us that life is not a destination to be reached, but a series of moments to be felt and shared. There is also a profound reason why God denied dogs the power of human speech. Human language, though a gift, is often used to deceive, to judge, or to hurt. God wanted one creature on this earth to communicate through a frequency higher than words, the frequency of pure energy and intuition. A dog knows you are sad before the first tear falls. They know you are anxious before your hands start to shake. They respond to your soul, not the mask you wear for the world. When you are broken, they rest their head on your lap. When you are joyful, they dance. This is the silent intercession, the physical evidence that you are never truly alone. God gave us dogs to provide us with a standard of character. Every morning when your dog looks at you with adoration, it is a divine challenge. It is as if the Creator is saying, live up to the person this creature thinks you are. Be as kind, as loyal, and as brave as your dog believes you to be. They are the guardians of our empathy, keeping our hearts soft in a world that often tries to make them hard. They are a gift of pure light, sent from the heart of the divine to walk beside us until we find our way home. Oving beyond the bond of friendship, there is a deeper, more ancient reason why these creatures were woven into the fabric of our lives. God gave us dogs not just to be our companions, but to be the guardians of our souls and the sentinels of our peace. In the grand design of the universe, there are many types of storms. There are the physical storms of the wild, and there are the silent, invisible storms of the human spirit, the shadows of depression, the weight of isolation, and the cold bite of fear. God knew that man would have to walk through valleys of deep darkness, and He chose the dog to be the torchbearer that walks by our side. A dog is a warrior of the spirit. Have you ever noticed how a dog will position themselves between you and a stranger, or how they will sit by your bed and you are ill? This is not just instinct, it is a sacred duty. They are wired by the divine to be protectors of the vulnerable. In ancient times, they kept the wolves away from our fires. In the modern world, they keep the wolves of despair away from our minds. When the world feels cold and the weight of your responsibilities feels like it might crush you, the simple act of a dog placing a paw on your hand is a reminder that you have an ally. They are the physical manifestation of the promise that we will never be forsaken. There is a unique healing power in their touch that transcends modern medicine. Science tells us that the rhythm of a dog's heartbeat and the warmth of their presence can lower our stress and mend our broken hearts. But on a spiritual level, this is God's way of providi. Comfort without the need for complex theology or sermons. Sometimes the most powerful prayer isn't spoken in a cathedral. It is felt in the quiet moments of a dog's loyalty. They are furry therapists sent to absorb our pain and reflect back peace. They take the heavy energy we carry, our anger, our grief, our exhaustion, and they neutralize it with a wag of a tail or a gentle nudge. God also gave us dogs to reconnect us to the natural world. In our busy, concrete lives, we often lose touch with the earth that God created. We forget the smell of the rain, the changing of the seasons, and the simple joy of the wind against our faces. A dog forces us to go outside. They remind us to look at the trees and to marvel at the sunrise. They are our tether to the Garden of Eden, reminding us that we are part of a vast living creation. Through them, God calls us back to a simpler way of being, a life rooted in the earth and guided by the rhythms of nature. Perhaps the most motivational aspect of this divine gift is the lesson of purpose. A dog finds their greatest joy in serving, whether they are leading the blind, searching for the lost, or simply waiting by the door to greet their perso. They live their lives with a singular, devoted focus. They do not ask what the world can do for them. They ask through their actions what they can do for you. They embody the biblical principle that the greatest among us is the one who serves. By watching their devotion, we are inspired to find our own purpose and to serve our fellow humans with the same fervor and lack of ego. They are the guardians of our homes and the keepers of our joy. God knew that life would be a difficult journey filled with trials and tribulations. He gave us dogs to ensure that even in our loneliest hour, there would be a spark of divine light in our homes. They are the sentinels of the soul, standing watch over our hearts, ensuring that we always have a reason to smile, a reason to get up in the morning, a reason to believe in the goodness of creation. The final lesson God teaches us through the dog is perhaps the most difficult, yet it is also the most profound. It is the lesson of the sunset. Many people ask why such a perfect creature, one so full of light and life, is given such a short time on this earth. Why do we only get a decade or two with a soul that loves us so completely? The spear. Each answer is as beautiful as it is heartbreaking. Dogs are born already knowing how to live a life of grace. Humans must spend 70 or 80 years learning how to love, how to be kind, and how to forgive. A dog arrives in this world already perfected in these virtues. Their mission is not to learn, but to teach. Once they have taught us everything we need to know about loyalty, presence, and joy, their work is done and they return to the heart of the Creator. The departure of a dog is God's way of teaching us about the nature of selfless grief. When we lose a companion who loved us without condition, it breaks our hearts in a way that few other things can. But in that breaking, our hearts expand. We learn that love is not a transaction. It is a gift that remains even when the giver gone. The pain we feel at the end is the tribute we pay for a lifetime of pure happiness. It teaches us the courage to love deeply even when we know that loss is inevitable. This is a divine preparation for the soul, a reminder that the physical world is temporary, but the bonds of love are eternal. God also uses the end of a dog's life to teach us about grace in the face of frailty. A dog grows old with a dignity that is nothing short of miraculous. They do not complain about their aching bones or their fading sight. As long as they are near you, they are content. They show us how to age with a quiet heart and how to face the end with a spirit that is still focused on love rather than fear. In their final days, they offer us one last gift, the opportunity to serve them as they have served us. It is a sacred circle of care that softens our spirits and prepares us for the transitions in our own lives. But the story does not end at the grave. Many believe in the concept of the rainbow bridge, a place of peace where our companions wait for us. Spiritually, we can find comfort in the idea that a love this pure cannot simply vanish into the void. Energy cannot be destroyed, and a love that reflects the divine must surely return to the divine. God did not create such a powerful bond only to let it end in dust. The legacy of a dog lives on in the person you became because of them. If you are more patient today, if you are more compassionate, or if you find yourself stopping to appreciate a sunset because of the dog you once walked with, then that dog is still very much alive within your soul. The ultimate motivation we take from our time with these divine messengers is to live a life worthy of their memory. We honor them by carrying their light forward. We honor them by the person they believed we were. God gave us dogs as a temporary loan from heaven, a glimpse of the paradise that awaits us where there is no more parting and no more pain. They are the evidence that there is a goodness in the universe that wants us to be happy, a creator who didn't want us to walk the earth without a witness to our lives. As you look at the dog by your side today, or remember, the one who is waiting for you on the other side, know that you have been touched by a miracle. You have walked with a creature that saw the face of God and decided to reflect that light back onto you. Carry that light. Be kind. Stay present. And above all, love as they loved, without limit, without fear, and with a heart that is always, always open.